know that sunflowers have a secret? On cloudy days when the sun is nowhere to be found, they don't keep staring at the sky. No, they actually turn toward each other and they pass light back and forth until the sun returns. Now, when I originally heard that, I thought, what an amazing way to describe community and support. And we should be living that way. But somewhere along the way, I think we forgot. See, we keep getting sold this story that strength equals silence. You must disappear, work on yourself in private, and come back polished and ready to be perceived. And I'll say something that I know a lot of y'all probably are thinking. Asking for help is terrifying. It's the equivalent of handing somebody the sharpest pieces of your story and begging them that they don't cut you with it. And if we're talking about real healing, that doesn't happen in isolation. It happens at the moment somebody sees your shadow and they don't flinch. It would be the moment where they meet your storm with their steadiness, the moment that they turn towards you with light. Now let me tell you a little bit about how I got up here. So I'm the oldest of three, the only daughter, which just equivalates to the fact that from a very early age, I was leaned on very heavily to figure it out, step up, and keep moving forward. Also means that I was asked to carry, even if I was carrying more than my fair share at the time. Now that strength, it got me praised. So I started to wear it like armor. But armor is heavy and it's clunky, so it gets in the way of you not only reaching for help, but holding the people that you love and holding yourself. If I'm being honest, I wasn't taught how to reach. I was taught how to carry. So when I would reach, I would downplay my needs, I would look down. My voice would shake and my chest would tighten. See, being the oldest daughter for me is the equivalent of being the tallest sunflower. Everybody expects you to look at the sun. Nobody asks you if your stem is tired. Another thing about myself, I have ADHD and autism. So for me, my brain is a browser window with 1,000 tabs and there's music coming from one of them I can't find. I can hear electricity, so fluorescent lights sound like a beehive in my ear. Shirt tags always feel like sandpaper, and navigating small talk is the equivalent of going through a maze and the walls keep moving. I never quite know how we got here or how to get through. See, in those moments, my sunflower may be in the shade, may be away from the sunlight, and I have to advocate for myself and ask for help. See, I can create an empire at 2 a.m. and hyperfocus, but I'm also prone to forget to eat. I can be brilliant, beautiful, and brave, but I also feel like going to the grocery store is like walking through a war zone. So when I have to ask for sunlight, I ask my community, I ask the people who love me, if they can share just a little bit on that rainy day. Most of the time they oblige. Another thing about myself, I've experienced homelessness. For about 2 years, the person that I was with at the time, my beautiful brindle greyhound Cash, who just turned 3 this year, we would go to the back of a Kia Sorento and reconfigure the entire back into a pallet that would comfortably fit one person, but would tightly fit 2 adults and a dog. We would literally use the gym as our personal bathroom. DoorDash all day to not only make sure that we have funds for the gas that we were spending, but for toiletry, water, and food for not just us, but our dog. We would hide our Kia Sorento in between the truckers and the public parking lot, so no one would know that we were sleeping in our car. They would just think that we were going through the city. See, for about a couple of seconds in the morning, I would have this utter sense of peace being with people who loved me. But before I could open my eyes all the way, this looming sense of survival would come around the corner and sit on my chest like an elephant. Now, hopefully you have never been in that situation. But if you have, you know what I'm about to say is absolutely true. Having an address in this country locks out more than you would ever know. In these moments, small things would be my light. So whether it was the overly kind barista that thought my dog was just too cute to not have whipped cream on her face, or it would be the moments that I would have a warm meal with the person that I was with at the time, or one of those hot showers at the gym. See, now luckily for me, I also had my therapist during this time. We got locked in. She helped me not only with diagnosing my autism and my ADHD, but helping me get from a place of survival to a place of healing. She helped me understand that my brain isn't broken, it's just wired beautifully different. That helps me understand my decisions. And once you can understand your decisions, you can make better ones. So I got out of the Kia Sorrento and into an apartment. I not only have my Greyhound, but now I have a Cane Corso. She is a playmate. For me, community didn't fix everything, but it kept me human. For many moments, I was too afraid to even reach out to the people who cared about me. See, the thing about isolation is it echoes this thought that it's safer to not reach. Because what if you're judged? What if something that you're going through hits the other person and comes back a dud? And it doesn't feel like sunlight. It feels like overcast. I got to this point where I wanted to be like Jazz, my therapist. I wanted to be the voice, to be the sunlight. So now you're looking at a Safe Space Curator, an intuitive and spiritual coach, a minister, and a voice for anything that's neurospicy. See, community care for me was my hero. The equivalent of somebody passing you water instead of words if it's too heavy. When we get to this point where we understand that we must come together to survive, there's healing in that. So, I implore you, let's create those bonds that hold weight, yeah? The ones where the check-in text isn't weird or awkward, but expected. Where giving someone food on your neighborhood block watch or whatever community you have near you is expected and not thrown to the side. You may not be a sunflower. You might be a tulip. You could be a rose grown through concrete. But we grow because we look to each other. So oldest daughters, learn how to let somebody help you. My neurospicy community, learn how to get with people who understand your rhythm. And for anybody going through a transition, whether it's spiritual, mental, or physical, understand your story is not over. I'm proof of exactly that. Make sure you check in with the people who love you. And make sure you make a conscious decision to let them know you are there if they need sunlight. Thank you.